Hi everyone! This is so different and exciting and nerve-wracking and okay, so hi, my name is Sydney and I am the channel owner of Coffee and Books. So this is the first video that I'm doing, so I guess the appropriate video would be to do the Booktuber Newbie Tag. And so yeah, so I'm gonna go through the questions and hopefully give you a little insight into who I am and what I hope to bring to the Booktube community. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? So I'll probably touch on this a little bit like throughout the rest of the questions, but I started this Booktube channel because for a large chunk of the 24 years that I've been on this planet, I just didn't read at all. I read what was expected. I read, essays, I read articles, I read what I had to read because of being an undergrad and in grad school. But I just went through a very big lull in reading books for fun, or even just like a, hey, read this book kind of thing. I would be like, okay, cool, and then just like never pick it up. So I decided to start this channel because I, fell into a kind of like YouTube hole and discovered this AuthorTube individual, Kate Kavanaugh. I will link her channel down below, and just kind of like watched every single video that she's ever written and composed and all of her stuff, and then fell into the Booktube world and immediately fell in love with it. If this had been around when I was younger, oh my god, I would have no idea how my life would be. So long story short, I chose to create this channel because I think it's a wonderful thing that Booktube is, and I think the fact that people can just sit, talk about books, and everyone has their own opinions. I think that the fact that you can just talk about books is amazing. And so yeah, so I kind of wanted to be a part of this little world and try to contribute what I can, which kind of goes into the next question, which is question 2. What are some unique things that you can bring to Booktube? Now, I've literally sat and just been like, I don't know, what can you bring? Because there's thousands of people that are on Booktube, big booktubers, small booktubers. Yeah, and I don't know, like, I think what I can bring is just, another voice, another thoughts on other books and opinions. And I mean, potentially at one point what I'd love to do is, because I also love to bake, I'd love to just kind of like bake one thing from like each book that I read and kind of like dive into that. I mean, like, there's some books that are, super heavy into like food. So like I just finished reading With the Fire on High. That's basically about her being, a chef and loving to cook. And so for me, I love to bake, so I'd love to, kind of incorporate my two interests. So the next question is, what are you most excited for this channel? And I think really what I'm just excited for is to just continue obviously watching everyone's Booktube videos, because I'm just amazed. I laugh. I truly fall into what these people are doing, as social media tends to cause. But I don't know, I guess I'm most excited for potentially developing friendships and sharing interests with people all over the internet. I mean, it's crazy how people can just, with a click, just be like, hey, I agree, or hey, let's talk about it. And I just love it. The next thing is, why do I love reading? So, it's kind of like mixed emotion question, because again, I said that like for a really long time I didn't read anything fun, but I love reading just because I, as everyone says, you just get transported to somewhere else. You can block out what's going on in your own life and block out what's, maybe feelings or anxiety or just like overwhelmingness, because my personal life is psychotically busy. I work 2 jobs every single day, and I don't know, like the opportunity, whether it just be an hour of reading or if I get an opportunity to read for like 5 hours, it's nice, and you can just block out what's going on and escape for a little bit. What book or series got me into reading? So, I've been reading, I had the lull of 6 years, I guess you could say. But when I was younger, what got me into reading was definitely a series of unfortunate events. Lemony Snicket, in my eyes, could do no wrong. I mean, like, honestly, as like everyone says, probably, we all thought Lemony Snicket was a real man. We thought the Boulders were real children. Count Olaf was out there trying to, that's my cat, I have two, so thanks, Reg. Yeah, so I just thought like Count Olaf out here gonna be snatching people up. So yeah, I loved a series of unfortunate events. I followed it as long as I could have. So yeah, so series of unfortunate events, all of it, were probably the big stories that when I was younger just made me like want to like read anything and everything that I ever got my hands on. So what questions do I have for other booktubers? So yeah, as I've said, I've fallen into this like booktube hole where I've watched so many different people, like witty novels and Brittany the Bibliophile and a bunch of other people. I definitely need to get into watching small YouTubers because, like myself, you want to get support who you know. But the biggest question that I have, especially with like my schedule of working every single day, is like, how do you do it? Like, how do you find the time to do the videos, to read the books, to edit the videos? Like, no idea how to edit. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, like, how do you find the time? Because I am sitting here, like, I want to do this. I want to be involved in Booktube. But I sit here and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a lot. And like, it's something else that you're adding to your plate. But I don't know, like that's probably the biggest question that I have. So yeah. The next question is the hardest challenge to continue Booktube channel, which is literally kind of just what I said. It's just like the fact of finding the time to make the videos, read the books, and edit them. Oh, look at that. I'm making a mess. Ha! Welcome to who I am. So yeah, I don't know. Just finding the time, because as I've like recognized with myself with this like re-up of reading books, it's there's some weeks where I can read maybe 3 books, and then there's another week where it's like I start a book and I get like 15 pages in or 50, and then I'm like, all right, that was enough. So I don't want to make content that people don't enjoy and people that are kind of just like bored with. So yeah, I think that's probably gonna be the hardest challenge for me personally. The next question is, when did I start reading? So again, tying into me and my break, I started reading definitely when I was like the youngest that one can possibly read a book and like retain what they were doing. So maybe I'm gonna say like 6 years old to like remember what I was reading and enjoying it. And I read all throughout my childhood, through middle school, through high school. I remember at one point, got grounded for something, and my mom literally yelled at me and was like, why, when I ground you, do all you do is read books? Like, why don't you go outside? Why don't you have fun? Why don't you like make something? Like, all you do is read books. And I was like, I don't want to do anything else. So, I mean, being grounded for me was just like, okay, I can't turn on TV. I'm going to read a book. It's like, awesome. And then again, as I said, I had the 6-year hiatus of reading books that are fun and enjoyable and take you away to like a whole other place. And I would say that my re-up of reading books was probably this year in, I'd say August, probably like mid-August. This year I went through a lot of stuff emotionally and mentally, and it definitely was an opportunity to, escape. As I said, that I like to just kind of forget what I'm going on and what's going on around me. So yeah, so I think, again, August was probably my rebirth into liking to read and remembering how much I enjoyed it for so long. And yeah, I'm happy to start doing it again. Where do I read? So I like to read in my bed. However, my bed is my sanctuary, and literally probably within like 25 minutes of being in the bed and like reading, I'm passed out. Oh, hi, there's my Reggie. He's a Maine Coon mix, if you can't tell. He's huge. My other one's over there, but she's definitely not gonna come over here, so you'll probably see her later on, but that's Reginald. So where was I? Oh, where do I read? So yeah, once I'm in my bed, I just conk out at like 25 minutes, so I probably only get like 10-15 pages. So what I've learned is that the best place for me to read while I'm here in my apartment would be on the couch, because I have the TV in the living room. I don't have one in my bedroom. So yeah, so once I'm on the couch, I get nice and cozy. I turn on my fairy lights. I turn on the Hogwarts reading room videos. I'm a Ravenclaw, and I really enjoy the Ravenclaw videos, but I will say I think the Slytherin video, the music, top notch. So yeah, so that's kind of where I do a lot of the reading when I'm here in the apartment. I'm not actually uncomfortable reading in public. I do that a lot of the time, especially when I go out for my lunch breaks and stuff. I like to read a physical book because obviously I'm eating lunch by myself and I don't want to be on my phone the whole time. And honestly, I didn't think I was this person, but with my obviously busy schedule, I've started to really enjoy audiobooks. Actually, the first book that kind of got me back into the swing of things of reading was Crazy Rich Asians, and I watched the movie, loved it, thought it was beautiful, loved the story, I thought it was great, so I was like, I want to read the book. So I actually bought it on Audible and started listening to that, and yeah, so loved it. It took me a lot longer than I had thought I was going to do, but obviously I was like, I'm in it, gonna finish it. But yeah, so now I have actually downloaded the Libby account, which is amazing, and so that's actually helped me read up to about 30, no, not 32, that's my goal because obviously I started late. I think I've read about like 15 books now, and most of them, probably, if not all of them, have been audiobooks. But yeah, so that's where I read, and so when I'm listening to the audiobooks, it's a lot of the time when I'm sitting in the office, because I'm doing a lot of stuff on the computer, I'm in my own space, I'm not gonna bother anybody, and so I just kind of like listen to an audiobook that way. But yes, but when I'm home, get a nice book, sit on the couch, fairy lights, mood, candlelight, perfect. What kind of books do I like? So I like, definitely, I think I've kind of like focused on like a fantasy fix right now. Like the actual book that I'm currently reading right now is Vicious by V.E. Schwab, and I love it. I think, well, on my page, I'm almost 100 pages in right now, and I think what I like in the books that are fantasy are like urban fantasies, where it's like, yo, that could have happened down the street or up in like, you know, a different state. Like it doesn't feel as like disconnected as like other fantasies feel, but definitely give me a good fantasy book. I just finished The Cruel Prince, which is right there, and yeah, so I think that's kind of what I'm like really falling into right now. However, just finished listening to Illuminate and also physically reading it. Highly recommend. If you listen to it, get the book, because following along with it, mint. But yeah, so sci-fi I've definitely been into lately. Yeah, I don't know why I don't have money. But when Owl Crate announced that they were releasing the Toll sign by Neil Shusterman, immediately the day that they said that they were selling it, I was like, okay, gonna buy it, because I just had finished Scythe, and I was like, haven't even read Thunderhead yet. Don't know about it, but I'm gonna buy it because I love Scythe. So like anything sci-fi I'm definitely also into right now. Something that I definitely want to kind of fall into is contemporary. I've not really read a lot of YA contemporary books, or just contemporary books in general, but I would really be interested in reading it, whether it be audio or physically. So obviously if you have any recommendations, I would love to read them. And so yeah, so those are the kind of books that I'm into right now. So yeah, those are actually all of the questions. I actually participated in a readathon. I participated in Witchathon. Did pretty okay on that. And I'm actually planning on participating in another readathon. That I'm going to participate in is the Tri-Wizard Tournament readathon, which is a new one. It is so detailed. The creator went above and beyond. I'll link the Twitter link, I guess is what you call it. I'll link it down below as well, because it's a not only month long, it also goes into December as well. And there's obviously the 3 different tasks, but hopefully when I do that other video, I will talk about it more there. So thank you again. My name is Sydney from Coffee and Books. I hope you guys enjoy my YouTube video. Hopefully I find the time, because I love this community. I think it's just so fun. And again, if this was around when I was, 12-year-old Sydney, I have no idea where my life would be. This would have been such a godsend, and I think what everyone's doing on this channel, whether it be just discussing their opinions on books or sharing their life, I think it's admirable. And yeah, so again, thank you guys. I hope that we keep seeing each other.